Hello, dear ones. We are still in a rock and roll period of time. It is still eclipse season. We'll have our next eclipse on November 8th, and there's just a lot shifting within November aside from even the eclipse. And the eclipse we've just come out of, the solar eclipse on October 25th. We've got planets stationing, we have planets going direct, we have planets going retrograde. Things are moving and shifting and shaking. So this is a month you're going to want to hold center. You're going to want to do some self-care. We're examining relationships at a very deep level here. And there's some grace coming in as well, and some energy to help us really finish up and complete some things we have been working on for quite a long time. Hi, I'm Prema and welcome to Chart Your Path. I am so glad that you're here. I really appreciate you liking, sharing, and subscribing to the station. If you haven't already subscribed, really helps to get the word out. And if you are really wanting to know how all these eclipses are impacting you, I still have my eclipse reading special going through November 8th, the next eclipse. The link is down below. It's a very special offer for a live reading session with me. And also on the next eclipse, I will be doing a full moon sacred healing circle. This is all about alchemy, activation, and alignment. There is a portal open for healing with the full moon, and I'll be bringing these to you on the full moons. We'll be doing sound healing. There'll be mantra. There'll be journal prompts. We're going to help to mitigate the planetary dissonance and bring it in more resonant, so you can raise your frequency during this time, so you can clear your emotional bodies, your energy body, and break free of some of our samskaras, and also really give yourself an opportunity to just let some of those beliefs and programmings, just let it fall away. This is an experiential time for you to open up, clear out, and really activate your power at a deep level. The link is down below for that as well. The month starts out with a lot of energy in Libra still. So we've got Mercury, the great communicator in the Sacred Wealth Code Archetype system, the connector, ruled by Venus, and we've got the Sun, the leader, all there with the mystic, with K2, the south node of the moon. So and also Venus and Mercury combust the Sun. So this is a very tricky time for relationships, which spun off with the solar eclipse that we had. Remember, solar eclipses change your direction. If you didn't watch that video already, you can watch the video, and the link is down below for that as well. And there should be a thing up there for the solar eclipse, because that energy is going to play out for the next 6 months, and it's really shifting your trajectory wherever Libra happens to be in your chart. Yes, I am talking about Vedic astrology, the sidereal zodiac. Well, with this energy, we are really looking at our deeper commitments in a relationship. We are looking at how we communicate, what we're compromising, what are our boundaries. Compromising in agreements, we're always doing this in relationship. And that eclipse put a lot of pressure on that for all of us. And then with this energy playing out still, and the communicator here, Mercury here as well, it's still asking us to take a closer look, and especially the shadow side of Venus, which would be the connector, is the people pleaser. And in relationships, we have to watch out for this. We do this all the time. We want the connection so badly, we're willing to sort of give up parts of ourselves or make choices that really aren't 100% in alignment with us, or tolerate things in order to have the connection. I am not saying that's wrong or bad. You need to decide that for yourself. Do you want the connection in a relationship more than you want the best choice for yourself? Or is a way to communicate and compromise to come together more and be able to have, everyone have good boundaries and their needs, wants, and desires fulfilled? This is what's under scrutiny during this time. Communication's not so great right now, though. In the first half of the month, Venus on the 11th, Mercury on the 13th, and then the Sun is on the 16th. We'll all move into Scorpio, and we'll have Scorpio energy. I'll talk about that in just a moment. So there'll be a big shift on the same themes and dynamics. So we want to get clear about some things before we move it into that Scorpio energy where we could end up being really resentful instead of that deeper devotion that we want to have in Scorpio, and that Scorpio can be so wonderful for. But Mars is also in Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury, and it has just gone retrograde on October 30th. It'll be there till the 13th, 14th of the month, and then it's going to slide back into Taurus, and it's going to be in Taurus. Actually, it'll be out of retrograde on the 14th of January, but then on the mid-March, then it'll finally move out of that placement. But it's going to have a long stay there. But right now, while it's in until mid-month, while it's in Gemini, that would really be the strategist energy, the honorable warrior, the engineer. It is heating up our communication. Okay, so this plays into that whole relationship energy because Mercury is there in Libra. And so, you may feel argumentative, or you could really feel passionate about sharing your thoughts. That's awesome. But watch out for the arguments. Is it worth it to argue over something? You just might feel really fired up about your ideas. Okay, so take a breath, slow down a little bit. With Mars, we just always want to slow down, but Mars is going to slow down because it's retrograding. So we're re-examining the things that Mars represents in Gemini for us and in Taurus for us. But collectively, Gemini, again, is that sharing of ideas, that communication. And when it goes back into Taurus, then it is more about our security, our values, our stability. And because Mars isn't going to be moving so quickly during that time, then we can get pretty frustrated. It'll be less fiery, which could be good. It's really the energy of the engineer in Taurus, that earthy energy, building things, constructing things. But I really encourage you to be really disciplined in your spiritual practice. Exercise and sweat off the extra energy for Mars. That's always for Mars, and especially if you're a Martian, if you're ruled by Aries or you're ruled by Scorpio as an ascendant or a moon sign. And you're going to be examining your deeper values, and do they really measure up during this time? Or are there changes you need to make? Or are you frustrated by the values that you seem to be supporting in your life, in your world, because they don't match up with a deeper sense of value? So that's going to be, and also what really sustains you. What are you building for the long term? Mars likes things done yesterday. So we have to really be careful to Mars is going to slow down, and that can be frustrating as it is, even with our productivity. So I encourage you to spiritual practice, like I just talked about, your exercise, your yoga, your martial arts, your meditation, your mantra. Do it, okay? It's going to save your life. Do it. But also with that, you're going to want to be re-examining your beliefs around your values and making some different choices about them. And because you may not feel as productive as you'd like to, I really encourage you to, because things may be moving slower, doesn't mean you're not productive. But again, Mars likes everything done yesterday. Chunk things down as far as projects and things go. And smaller checklists, and actually check things off. The mind really likes that, and that's fine. Let's keep the mind as calm as possible, as focused as possible. So, let yourself see that you actually are moving forward on things. That'll be super, super valuable. So I know I just segued over into the Mars retrograde, but let me come back to we've got the Venus, the Mercury, and the Sun moving into Scorpio right at the middle of the month. And so as it moves into Scorpio, it's going to be really important that we have assessed some of this relational energy, the agreements, the compromising, the boundaries by the time we go into that Scorpio energy, so that we're not resentful, so that we can actually get into the deeper devotion in relationships, and we don't get stuck in that negative victimhood or sort of just the negative emotional energy sometimes Scorpio can get stuck into. But see, the thing is with Scorpio, it's a very beautiful, deep place of really wanting to go deep with things. So superficial connection isn't going to mean much to you. You're going to want a deeper connection, and you'll be frustrated where you don't have it. So if you have sacrificed parts of yourself or compromised where you didn't want to, and you haven't cleaned that up, that could really be a problem at that time. So get really clear with yourself and do the work there to shift that. And I have to say, on the healing circle that I'm going to do, where the link is down below, and it's at a very low investment, so that everybody can get involved. We're really going to be working on releasing some of those beliefs around our own worth, so that we can really own our energy within a relationship and make better choices for ourselves. It's a time of endings, like I said, and radical new beginnings, so a great time to do that. Saturn went direct on October 23rd in Capricorn. And this is great. It's going to be there until January 16th. Now, when pretty much we went into lockdown when Saturn went into Capricorn in 2020, March of 2020. And it's been retrograding, going back into Aquarius, back and forth. So it's last pass in the last degrees of Capricorn through the end of this year. And it's finally going to give us that energy to really complete some things, especially what Capricorn rules for you. But overall, that's structures. It rules the government as well. It's organizations. It's, what we're really committed to, building things that last. It'll really help us be able to, let's finish up. So what's been kind of going back and forth? What have you been reassessing, that you've been structuring? That's something that you're building for the long term. You're going to get to move forward. So I'm, with Saturn, it's not like all of a sudden it's on fire, because it is Saturn. Saturn moves slow, but you should start to feel that momentum by now, that like, okay, you're clear, you know the next steps, and the path is open to take those next steps. So now through the end of the year, finishing up what you have been building for the long term. Really great energy supporting you in that. So, of course, we've got the eclipse happening on November 8th. This is the lunar eclipse when I'll be doing the healing circle. And this is happening in Aries at 21 degrees. It's very close to Uranus, where we have that intense lineup with Uranus at 24 degrees back at the end of July, beginning of August, with Rahu, the magician, with Mars again, and with Uranus. Uranus is, the big disruptor, but Mars is not involved with this, so it isn't, and it's not right on 24 degrees. So here's the deal. I will do a whole update for this, as well as I'm doing the healing circle as well. But this is the energy of Barney. This is represented by the yoni. This is endings and new beginnings, giving birth. It's Aries, but it also has to do with our worthiness, our independence, and again, where we're compromising. It's going to trigger the other eclipse energy that we were in for the solar eclipse. So this is a very things happen very unexpectedly during this time, and they happen acutely. So just right now, mark your calendar for the 7th, the 8th, the 9th of November. You're going to stay out of big crowds because other people are unstable during this time. No matter how it's hitting you, you don't know how it's hitting other people. It's a really great portal for doing the healing work we're going to do. It's for deep meditation, for really start, opening up to what's next. But it's not the time to actually put it into action until after this eclipse has passed, because again, it's a cloudy period of time. What that sort of storm is good for, it's good for our growth, and this is the end of the eclipse pattern that's pulling us out into the world. Okay, so I'll do a whole update on this, and we'll do the healing circle, and it'll be beautiful. We also have Jupiter moving direct on the 23rd of November. This is wonderful. Jupiter, so much grace in Pisces, even though it's been retrograde. But we've been reevaluating a lot about our vision, a lot about our deeper sage type energy that, what we're devoted to, what we're, our teachings, our spirituality, where we're dissolving this world and moving into what's new. So now we're going to be able to have more of our inspiration back, more of our purpose, and more of our vision with Jupiter moving forward. It shines the trine aspect, so it's all the water constellations. So as well as it's going to shine on Capricorn, as well as, it's in Pisces, Capricorn, and in Scorpio. So when the planets move into Scorpio, Mercury, Venus, and the Sun, mid-month, they're going to then be under the aspect of Jupiter, the great sage. That is a beautiful thing. It's also shining its light on Virgo. So we have this beautiful grace of Jupiter this year, but now it's going direct, and that's going to be good for all of us. So again, we're going to feel some more momentum. So we have some great shifts, but things are moving, so they're unstable while they're moving. So we want to sort and sift and clear and let go and create a vision. And then once things are moving forward and the eclipses pass, then we'll have a clear path to know where we are moving forward. We have a new moon at the end of the month, right on the same day Jupiter is stationing going direct. On the 23rd of November, that's going to be in Scorpio. It'll be at 7 degrees in Anuradha. That is the star of success. It is represented by the lotus flower, and it really helps us to bloom under challenges. It gives us a deep sense of courage. Of course, Mars owns this constellation of Scorpio, and it actually helps us to create balances in relationships and honor others as well as oneself. So by the time we get to the new moon, we've done the relationship work, we've done the healing, and then we come into this new moon to start a new cycle with a lot of support here with this new moon. I'll be doing an update about that as well. So I so appreciate you being here. I want to hear what's going on for you. Where are you compromising? Where do you need to reevaluate, your relationships, and pull some of your energy back, your agreements? How is this affecting you? What are you noticing? Please, I'm comment. I'm here to support you too. The eclipse reading, of course, special for that is down below, as well as the healing circle, which is a very low investment. And I'm going to be bringing those to you monthly to support you and shifting here. So much love to you. Appreciate you subscribing and sharing this around as well.